Hi, everybody, and welcome back for another show. This one of the very last for the first month of 2014. It's Thursday and the 30th. And we've got sunshine above. Well, now we don't. We're seeing some clouds and darkness move in, but it's been a nice day in the neighborhood. Dare I say, by comparison, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. We've got some more of the same for the most part. There is still a lot of talk, a lot of chatter, and rightfully so, about early next week. Now, we've got some winter weather in the forecast that may be building up and intensifying before your weekend is all said and done, but this frontal boundary that's going to possibly stall out somewhere over the viewing area and a big swath of eastern Kentucky next week is really still a predominant threat at this hour. And it's still too far out to pinpoint in any form or fashion, but depending on the exact location, at the front we could see a great potential for significant rain, freezing rain, and snowfall accumulations, and I know really very little more on that front than I did at this time last evening because it's just still too far out to see, but a lot of energy and a lot of variables that could very well come into play, and a lot of folks I talked to today taking this threat very seriously. A lot of generators were being gassed up and fueled up and checked and gone over in a lot of different areas today, and a lot of such weather precautions kind of being taken while the warmer weather permitted so. So we'll talk about that. Your weather forecast, which does have a threat of accumulating snow returning Sunday night into early Monday morning. Chance of some light freezing rain Tuesday morning before, well, everything could just go, as the old saying is, south. And that's kind of a loose interpretation of phrase to use, I suppose. The good news is we'll see 21 degrees roughly for tonight's low instead of the daytime highs. And tomorrow we're looking at the 40s with a little more sunshine above. We'll get to that in just a second. It has been simply an unbearable day for family and friends of a large family, the most of which was killed in an early morning fire in Muhlenberg. It's made state and national headlines. Folks all across the nation grieving the loss of a Kentucky mother and her 8 children, all but one of which, and her husband, which died in a single-dwelling, single-story home after a fire broke out during the early morning hours. The pictures that have been seen by a nation at this hour don't look any different than any other structure fire that we may encounter, but this one was fatal and even much more than that. Only the father and his 11-year-old daughter escaped the blaze, both in critical but stable condition at this hour. The Kentucky State Police has meanwhile confirmed that 8 of the 9 that were found deceased were all found in the same main bedroom of the home, while the other one was only a few feet away from that location. 36-year-old Chad Watson and his 11-year-old daughter, Kylie, were both taken to the Vanderbilt Medical Center in Nashville after the fire broke out in this single-family, single-story dwelling outside, well, not outside, but near the community of Greenville. Friends and family have portrayed the family as a loving and attentive couple to their kids, as well as a couple struggling to get by and struggling to stay warm in the colder temperatures. The names of the deceased: 35-year-old mother Nikki Watson, and then 15-year-old Madison, 14-year-old Caitlin, 13-year-old Morgan, 9-year-old Emily, 8-year-old Samuel, 6-year-old Reagan, and then little 4-year-old twins Mark and Nathaniel. And that's not the only fatal fire that we have seen in Kentucky over the past 24 hours. Limited details, but confirmation that a Wayne County man has died as a result of a fire that destroyed the home that he shared with his mother. It happened this afternoon, sometime around 1 o'clock in the daytime hours at a home near Monticello. The man, still unidentified in age by neighbors, only listed as somewhere in the 50 to 55-year-old range, was reportedly at home. It was unclear as to whether or not his mother, who he lives with, was at home at the time or injured, but the cause of the fire remains under investigation and no other details have been released at this time. More headlines after these messages. From time and money saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Salyersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Salyersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
This is John at Premier Motor Sales in Paintsville, Kentucky. We appreciate y'all shopping with us. And if you're in the market for a used vehicle, we carry all sorts of different kinds of makes and models. For example, here I have a 2009 Chevy Malibu LT. I also have a 2010 Toyota Corolla S. It's no problem to find you what you're looking for. Give us a call at 297-4121 in Paintsville, Kentucky.
Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400.
January is Employee Month at Hutch Chevrolet, as you will buy like a Hutch employee. You pay what we pay.
Hello, this is Earl Justice. Hutch Chevrolet is introducing a new way to buy a new car. It's the Hutch Easy Pay plan. It will cut your payments up to 40% every month, just like the new 2014 Chevy Equinox. Don't pay over $500 per month. Now with the new Hutch Easy Pay, only $325.08 a month. Get to Hutch Chevrolet GMC, Paintsville, Kentucky. Isn't it time for you to buy Hutch?
Love is in the air at the seasonal shop with something sweet for all your hearts. With cute $5 or $10 custom Valentines perfect for the kids at school and other adorable cuddly candy bouquets just perfect for everyone. And they've got the finest in Whitman's chocolates and more ways to say I love you than you can imagine throughout the store. Fashionable and fan favorite handbags and jewelry for her. Absolutely anything and everything UK for him, and even Big Blue for the cutest of Valentines. And just in, sassafras burlap designs in monogrammed doormats and garden flags to say welcome. All this and so much more only at Fraser's Prater Drugs seasonal shop in downtown Salyersville. I'll contend that parents were just ready to get the kids out of the house. Superintendent of Schools Stanley Holbrook contends that for the most part it was their desire to get them back in school and to get their education, that parents were more than willing to travel what were still some sketchy roads, so to speak, in McGoffin County that buses wouldn't travel on this morning. He says all in all, attendance records indicated that they made the right decision.
We made the correct decision, and we tried to have it yesterday, but that snowstorm came up out of Louisiana, which is kind of unheard of. A snowstorm come out of Louisiana and caused us not to have school yesterday. Today we're having, we had school, and we're having it on Plan B, which is a limited busing. We won't send any buses on any road that's not safe. So when people in McGoffin County know that we don't travel roads that are not safe. And we had school today, no incidents whatsoever. We had just a little shy of 84% attendance, which is fantastic. I mean, you got to applaud the parents of McGoffin County. I have to thank them as superintendent that they support their schools. I mean, we had parents to bring them out because their roads were poor shape, and they brought them to school to make sure they got an education. You got to applaud people who are doing stuff like that. And I'd like to thank the parents of McGoffin County for supporting their schools. And without their help, we couldn't do the things that we need to do here in this county.
Holbrook also says that as a bit of an extra precaution, so to speak, that the cafeterias in all the schools were going to make sure that kids got an extra helping for breakfast, lunch, and or a late lunch today after being off and home for, about a month now. Only 4 days in session have been classes in McGoffin County since the Christmas break began. That's a long time. He also says that while they're about 2.5 weeks behind deadline on the filling of the new lot for the McGoffin County High School, it's not an issue because the money won't be in place until about April when the General Assembly approves all the funding. He also says, though, that bids have been let out and we should start to see, as soon as weather permits, work begin on the infrastructure of the new high school and some construction on the new football complex.
We had a meeting with all the 6 new vendors, and we passed out $3.1 million for starting the infrastructure of the new school. And we met with them this week, and they'll be out on site at about the 15th day of February. And that's when we start looking at running the water, sewer, Also, the electric lines that be run, they'll be all underground. We're going to build an egress and an egress, which is an entrance and an exit, so that the public drives by, they'll need to watch, they'll see where that's going to be. And then they'll also start across the creek over there. They have a football field to start and a field house and some roads to build. And the football part, we received $1.7 million, and we bid it out, and it's going to cost about 1.8, so we can cover that. The rest of that money out of the 3.1 million is the infrastructure for the high school. That's with electric and your sewer and your water and entrances. So that's all going to start. I met with the legislatures. I meet routinely with them, and all we're waiting on to finish out this project is when Mr. Beshear, our Governor Beshear, when he signs that 2-year budget, and that usually happens in April. We'll bid it on out, and we'll be starting building this thing by somewhere between May 15th and June the 1st. That's to start the building itself.
An entire project which will be open for school and classes and students and faculty for the start of the 2016 school year. Now, part of this project, of course, has been a massive fill of the property after taking dirt from the upper elevation, bringing it to the front of the lot. And that filling, he says, has been monitored closely to make sure that all settling, if there is any to happen, is done before construction begins. And they use a scientific process of putting concrete pillars into the earth and then measuring over the entire project area. And he says that so far, all the results have come back positive.
Received 5 weeks worth of settlement reports across the creek, and after 5 weeks, it has settled 0.06, 6/100ths of an inch after 5 weeks.
What was expected?
Well, they thought they would settle quite a bit at first and then go less, but it's not been settled much at all. 5/100ths of an inch is not much. I wish I was a good math person who could convert that over to an inch, but it's not much of an inch.
Our other top stories for this Thursday follow tonight's McGoffin County Farm Bureau-sponsored community calendar. And how's that for a beautiful backdrop? Well, that's what we got to enjoy throughout most of the afternoon. I'll talk about temperatures, which progressed a total of 49 degrees today. From our low this morning to our high today, that's how much ground we covered, and that was very, very welcome. Here's what's welcome on tonight's community calendar, an invitation for you to join them and guest minister Jimmy Conley at Sunday morning services at the Stinson United Baptist Church. Please come and join them. This is your invitation to do so. And weather permitting, and it will be, they'll be picking and grinning this Saturday evening at 7 at Kearney Free Will Baptist. Pastor Butch Whitaker and everyone invites you to join them. Call 349-6400 to make your reservations for the annual Sweetheart Banquet at the Burning Fork Community Church. Wonderful dinner, wonderful evening, $16 per person. Children eat half price. Call 349-6400 to make your reservations. An indoor photography workshop to teach you how to take pictures indoors. It's not just a workshop that's indoors. Monday, February the 10th at your McGoffin County Extension Office. Call 349-3216. And a reminder, you can still drop off eyeglasses, those that you don't need, don't wear, at the McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center. From there, they'll be collected and then taken to some folks in other parts of the world who can put them to very, very good use. Here are tonight's sponsors for the rest of the program, and we'll be right back with other headlines. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Don McFarland. I want to be your family lawyer. If you've been injured on the job, if you're interested in getting your Social Security disability or SSI benefits, or if you've been injured because of someone else's negligence, or basically, if a car wreck has caused you to suffer pain, then pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne, 349-9000.
Howdy, Hatfield. I reckon I'll take my pig back.
Ain't your pig.
Yeah, it is.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is, and I can prove it. Ma, I just sent a picture of our missing pig. Tell everybody it's time to start feuding.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I guess ain't gonna be no feud. Real nice picture, though.
We'll put it on Instagram.
Appalachian Wireless is 4G. Great pictures, video, text, and talk. Bigger savings, better service. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
2014 Terexes are in with a newly redesigned 800cc power plant and a new 2-seat configuration. And the XP1000 is on the ground. 107 horsepower and a world-class suspension, plus Polaris financing as low as 2.99%, 5.99 for up to 72 months. But it's only good till the end of the year at Connolly's Kawasaki and Polaris of Paintsville. Start off the new year with some brand new duds. Regardless of how hard you have to work or how hard you want to play, if you're stepping out or if it's what you're stepping in, Red's Boot Barn has got you covered with work, play, and western boots by Muck, Ariat, Redwing, Blackjack, and more, and winter and western wear by Wrangler, Ariat, Miss Me, Outback, and Carhartt, just to name a few. Happy 2014 from everyone at Red's Boot Barn in Salyersville. Everybody at Salyersville Nursing and Rehabilitation Center wants you to join them in honoring two lovely ladies as they mark major milestones this week. Mary McCarty celebrating her 100th birthday and Elizabeth Lemaster celebrating her 103rd. From all their extended family and friends at Salyersville Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, happy birthday, ladies. Happy birthday, Mary and Elizabeth.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's something you just don't hear every day, and that's very fortunate for myself. Wrapping up the show at this point. I've had technical difficulties over the years. I've had all sorts of little issues that have caused a delay or two. And while this has happened nearly every year, I've been very proud of the fact for the past couple of weeks that I was able to make sure that it didn't happen this year. And I'm talking about pipes freezing off here at the newsroom. It's an old, cold building at times and a few exposed areas that I usually miss or something happens to make way for wind and cold air to get under the house usually means that every winter I have to deal with it. And I've been very proud and fortunate that while reminding you to leave your pipes dripping and things of that nature, that I've been very smart to do so here for myself. Until yesterday. And literally, while doing this program right now, there is water gushing out from underneath the floor. It is a sound that I first thought was a large wind, even though I was reading 0 on the dial over here as far as wind speed was concerned. I have been scrambling, trying to find some help. I'm kind of home alone today, no one next door, and a few neighbors not even home that I've tried to get some help with. And I finally reached someone at the water department. Actually, not finally. As soon as I called, they answered, and they're sending someone down. And that is the reason that we're cutting the show short tonight. Man, you just never know. So with my apologies, we now have a great deal of news to get to on your Friday, and a couple of special reports, too, by the way. I'm looking forward to an interview tomorrow. Sadly, we're going to say goodbye to her in her capacity that she's served residents of Salyersville, McGoffin County for over 20 years, but it's going to be a nice story, and I'll enlighten you and let you see it tomorrow. But I'm afraid for the fact of literally gushing water underneath my feet, I'm going to cut the show short. Your forecast, well, in brief, we did cover 49 degrees of ground today. I had -3 this morning. That's why my pipes froze. Can't believe this. During the overnight, we did hit 46, so we did see a 49-degree climb. A nice day. There was some sun above, as you can see. Winds right now 3 to 4 miles per hour. There is a wind chill, so to speak. 40 temperature-wise, 37 is what it feels like. Not a big deal. A low tonight of 21 degrees is in your forecast, and 44 and partly sunny tomorrow. Pretty much like today. Another nice, dry, calm day that we so deserve. Tomorrow, I'll get you updated on the winter threat for the weekend, at least the latter part of which, and then that big wintry mess that may impact us all next week. I'm not excited about it, but it could be a major player as far as rain, freezing rain, and snow. Any or all of the above are concerns. That said, once again, my apologies. I'm off to fix a water problem. I'll see you back here tomorrow for more of Your News Today. Good night, everybody.